All right, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash, double honors to the apostle, LG, measure, rule well, teach well, being great example to us younger brothers, and peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing the word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of there. So I want to the hopeful elect, the believers, and the listeners to have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And what I wanted to get into today, was a lesson inspired, by the live show, from the brothers out there, in Birmingham, beautiful brothers, spiritual brothers, and they went into a live show going into time, and everything is centered, around time, and prophecy is centered around time. The Most High has a perfect timing to when and how He would do things. That's why, you know, the scriptures speak a lot about patience, because as we wait for, the time, for the deliverance, the time of the destruction of our enemies, and to be, and for righteousness to be established in the earth, we have to endure, particular things, until their times come, so patience, is key, and understanding that everything will happen in its appointed time and the Lord will not, slack a minute, you know. So what I want to do is get Ecclesiastes 3, third chapter, to set the tone, like so when you go into Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, it says to everything there is a purpose, or it's like to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So there's a season and a purpose, for everything that happens under the heaven, which is on the earth, man. The things that we see play out on the earth, there's a particular time, all right, and season for those things, man. It says a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to be plucked up that which is planted. And now, all right, we're in the time, all right, where wickedness, all right, is finna be plucked up, and righteousness is being planted. And it starts with the preaching of this word, man. Because through the preaching of this word, a righteous, all right, kingdom will be established, will be planted, and the wicked kingdom will be plucked up, and it's all going to happen in due time, So when you go to Isaiah 61, all right, and 1, it said the spirit of the Lord Yahweh, all right, is upon me, because the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah have anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He have sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound. And Yahweh Shah was doing it in his time, and he had ordained, the disciples which became apostles and the men that they taught, to go do the same thing, because that same spirit of Yahweh Bashim Shah was upon them, because our people are the ones that are brokenhearted, all right, which is the mind. Our people's our mind are broken, from constantly being scattered, constantly being oppressed, having the mind state that they're nothing more, than a slave, man, you know, um, to proclaim liberty to the captives, yeah, because through the preaching of this word, you come out of that mental captivity, that spiritual captivity that tells you that you're a criminal, nigga, a bitch, a real nigga, a bad bitch, and you're African American, Native American, and all these different things. Jesus and God and all these different religions. See, they have people bound, but the true preaching of the true gospel, has set our people at liberty, and we're awaiting Yahweh Shai to physically come set us at liberty, man, you know. And it says, in the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all the more, man. Yeah, and we proclaiming the acceptable year, man. Because in one of these years to come, very soon, man, that vengeance is going to take place, man, or the Lord is going to completely destroy, all right, this beast infrastructure and deliver, all right, his people, man. You know, the elect of his people that have repented and that believe, man. You see? And this is what comforts our people, man, knowing that it's an expiration date to this kingdom, man, knowing that this kingdom only has a certain time, you know, before it falls, man. You see? Verse 3, it said, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, and the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. Yeah, man, because our joy, you know, our sorrow is being turned into joy, you know, because we see Yahweh Bashim Al Shah working on our behalf. You see, in times past, when we didn't understand prophecy, you know, the mysteries of the Bible wasn't made known, you know, the prophets wasn't out, you know, on the highways and byways, you know, making it plain, you know, because the prophecy is a sign within itself, you know. So before these things were happening, you know, you in the spirit of mourning because you don't know how it's going to end, man. You know, you don't know when it's going to stop. You worried about, you know, this is the type of world I have to bring my children in and all these things. But see, now, all right, that heavy spirit of mourning is being lifted off us, and the spirit of joy is being put on us through this word and doing and prophecy fulfilled. It says that they might be called the trees of righteousness, the planting, all right, going to the time of planting, all right, the planting of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, that he might be glorified, you know, because trees, you know, also go into people, you know. That's why you go into the story of the garden, you know, with Eve, you know, the trees in the midst of the garden, all right, was those other nations, man, you know. But now the Lord is finna plant Israel, beginning with the elect, a righteous, all right, a righteous tree, which is a righteous nation of people, man, you know, that Yahweh Bashim Al Shai may be glorified, you know, and that's why he has raised up prophets, because now is the time, all right, for our people to be planted and for this place to be thrown down, you know. So when you go into the matter of fact, Jeremiah, you know, let's get that real quick. All right. This is on Jeremiah 1 and 10. It says, see, I have this day set thee over the nations and over kingdoms to root out. All right. And this is the office of all the prophets, man. See, I have set this see, I have set this day, all right, set thee over the nations, over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down and to build up and to plant. Yeah. So the prophets, the office of a prophet, all right, is to pronounce, all right, and proclaim the destruction of one kingdom and the ushering in of another. You know, all right, and that happened all throughout history, man. You go to Daniel the 7th chapter, he was talking about different empires going up and coming down, and eventually the kingdom of heaven being established eternal, man. Daniel the 2nd chapter, man. It goes into the same thing, man. Different kingdoms and empires going up and down, all right, rising and falling, you know, but eventually the kingdom of heaven being established, all right, eternally, man. And that's the time that we are in, man. You know, and that's why the Lord is drawing nigh unto his people, because we're drawing nigh unto him. You know, so let's end it with this in Isaiah, you know, 49 and 8. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, in an acceptable time have I heard thee. Yeah, because now the Lord is accepting our prayers, because we know who we are now. We know what names to call on, and we know who our Savior is, Yahweh Shai. You know, and through belief in Yahweh Shai, we have a sacrifice that has been made, you know, that has opened up, you know, that the communications between us and our power, man. You see, everything goes through Yahweh Shai, you know. So it was a particular time that was already appointed when the Lord was going to start back hearing us, man, because now we're in a time where he's finna deliver and destroy, man. You see? And it says, and in the day of salvation have I helped thee. I will preserve thee and give thee for a covenant of the people, to establish the earth, to cause to inherit the desolate heritage, man. Yeah, man. We're going to go back, you know, into our land. You know, that land's going to be destroyed, you know, but we're going to be brought back into it, and these heathens will build up, man. You see, a time to throw down, a time to build up, because the Lord finna do a lot of throwing down, and these heathens finna build back up, man. So we gonna inherit, all right, the earth, and these heathens are gonna build it back up, man, to our liking, man. All right, beginning with Jerusalem, Israel, and then branching out from there, man. You see? So now we are in the acceptable time of Yahweh Shema Shai, man. He's hearing these prayers, and eventually he's going to send back Yahweh Shai to deliver, man. And then the things we see happening now, with the plagues, you got the eviction crisis, the unemployment being cut. That's the Lord hearing us, man, and making moves on our behalf, man. All right, those nations gathering over there in the war, the explosions, and all these things that's happening. The pandemic, all these different things is because the Lord is accepting the prayers of the elect, man. And he had already appointed that acceptable time, man. So I just want to bring that out, Lord willing, it was edifying, once again to give all praise on and glory to Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, Bahashim Rakaha Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great example to his younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations, hope for elect. Shalom.